Millions of Australians love Bali, and why not? It's a stunning place. But a thirst for sun and fun in paradise can hide a sobering truth. Safety standards in Bali are not what they are here, and when things go wrong, they go really wrong. In March, a group of 11 tourists, including Australians, took a boat trip to go snorkelling. No one had any reason to fear danger. That is, until the vessel they were on suddenly capsized. Melbourne woman Anna Blight died, and many of the others on board were injured. Tonight, graphic accounts of a tragedy that survivors say could and should have been avoided. In a church in Estonia, in Northern Europe, the Abel family is lighting a candle for an Australian woman they barely knew. 39-year-old Anna Blight. Lisa, Andreas and their little girl Alexandra were on a boat off Bali with Anna and 8 other passengers when it capsized in March.
I've seen this in my life,
Anna was killed, the disaster sparking a shambolic, near-fatal rescue operation.
We had no idea how many people are alive or how many are dead.
For all those who were on board, the trauma is still raw. What was it like in that moment?
First thing was fuel.
I'm going to be sick. You take your time. Take your
Just
time.
deep breath.
It's supposed to be a carefree island paradise, but for these tourists, it was holiday hell.
I want to warn people, think twice about going.
Tonight, survivors of the boating tragedy unite to tell their incredible story.
People should know it's not as safe as you might think.
Are you able to tell me what happened with the Sea Dragon 2?
As we track down the boat's owner and tour operator,
Were you on board when it capsized?
to find out what went wrong and who's to blame for the death of Anna Blight.
It's not really good enough, is it? An Australian woman has died.
With its friendly faces, endless summer and luxury hotels, holidaying in Bali is a dream destination for more than 1 million Australians every year. And that's exactly how it started for Queenslanders Gabe Hizhniakoff and Tam Warrington. They spent a week in Ubud enjoying the best the island paradise has to offer.
The people are so kind and helpful and really happy people. And the food was so good. We got massages every night. It was a lot of fun, really relaxing trip.
And what were you most looking forward to?
Swimming with the manta rays. Yeah, I did a lot of research about the activities and stuff, and I found that. I was so excited.
This is the tour that caught Tam's eye. It looked like the best and safest option, a day out snorkelling on the Sea Dragon 2.
There was a lot of really good reviews, and I remember one specifically said we felt really safe. They were really knowledgeable. There was not a single bad review that I saw. So I thought, yeah, awesome, let's do it.
It was our first time to visit Bali, a tropical paradise island. We wanted to celebrate our daughter's 7th birthday. And one of the presents was to go and see the sea turtles.
Having travelled all the way from Estonia, Lisa and Andreas Abel were also excited about what was supposed to be the highlight of their family holiday.
How did you choose the Sea Dragon 2?
I looked through different options, so of course from different sites, and this particular company had a lot of reviews, had the highest average rating.
It was actually one of the most expensive trips that you could actually choose. And we were also changing letters with the company to make sure that they have the safety vests and equipment also for the child. What we liked about the company was that they were asking from the Coast Guard in every morning, like, can they go out to the sea or not? It gave us confidence.
Sanua Beach is a popular hub for tourism operators, where holidaymakers from all around the world set off on diving and snorkelling adventures. It was here the 11 eager passengers, including the Abel family and Gabe and Tam, arrived early on the morning of March the 21st to board the Sea Dragon 2. Much like today, conditions were calm. None of them could have imagined the terror that lay ahead.
It looked like a nice clear day.
Perfect.
It was nice and flat.
We didn't have any concerns at all.
But the captain should have been worried because bad weather was building. Other tour operators did turn back that day, including Nura Komang. He's been operating boat tours off Nusa Penida for years.
So this is you on your boat, that
this
same
is
day?
Yeah, in same day. I think the
Oh,
up
wow.
there, look at a big storm just coming.
That's a storm cloud.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's a really big storm.
Nura was working on the 21st of March and changed plans after seeing the dangerous weather.
Lots of other company they cancel because lots of people do snorkeling. They come to this island. Lots of company they do cancel, not going there. They're looking for a different spot. For me, I always explain to the client before we do snorkeling, we will check the weather first. If the good weather, we will go there. If not good weather, we will go to different spot for the snorkeling.
So they should have turned back.
Yeah, it is sure. It's like.
While the captain of the Sea Dragon 2 didn't seem worried, once on board, the tourists started to have doubts. There was no safety briefing and no life jackets, even though Lisa Abel had checked there would be before she booked.
We didn't get absolutely anything. No briefing, vests, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Did you ask for a life jacket for your daughter at that point?
I asked the life jackets approximately like 5 times. And at one point, I was so nervous. There was a very small pink life jacket on top of all the other jackets. And at one point, I didn't care. I just took the vest by myself. I just like grabbed it and I told my daughter that we're going to put it on.
On their way out to sea, the safety concerns started to subside. It was a smooth ride and excitement was building. But within half an hour, conditions changed fast. Gabe Hizhniakov noticed the captain was struggling to navigate the increasing swell.
When you see white caps, you know it's not a good sign. Definitely the way I think the boat was driven was not the correct way. You should always head front on into a wave, shouldn't you? You should never be going side on.
They completely lost control over the boat. The waves were up to 4 to 5 meters, and it was a tropical storm. They were just driving so fast.
So wavy. Hola! Hola,
Dutch tourist Ava Youngblad was also on the Sea Dragon 2 that day and pressed record on her iPhone.
I was filming the waves because, I never experienced being with a boat in such high waves.
I'm getting nervous.
I felt like the waves like 4 or 5 meters. It felt like this. And that's why I also told her I'm getting really nervous. And also you get this roller coaster feeling in your stomach. That's what I was feeling.
Oh my God.
It was a feeling that was about to get much worse. Coming up, chaos at sea.
The rescue is coming.
And the botched rescue operation as those on board fought to survive.
I was in the ocean next to the boat, and I understood that my child is gone.
It's not hard to see why Indonesia is the top travel destination for Australians. Close and affordable, a place to relax and make memories. But Brisbane couple Gabe Hizhniakov and Tam Warrington will remember Bali for the day they nearly died during a snorkelling trip on board the Sea Dragon 2.
That looks, violent.
That looks terrifying.
Yeah. It just happened so quickly. So.
Is it hard to watch it back?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cautious of dodgy tourist traps, Gabe and Tam had done their research. They thought the excellent reviews for the Sea Dragon 2 meant it would be a safe bet.
I want to know how much it'll float.
But half an hour into their journey, the swell turned nasty, reaching 4 metres. With a big wave about to hit, they braced for impact.
I thought we were just going to get a bit wet. But then, as soon as it hit, you're pretty well underwater.
I've seen this in my life,
Don't know which is up or down. You're just scrambling to get breath.
I just reached out to grab my handbag because I thought we're going to get wet, all my stuff's going to get wet. But we were underwater before I even reached it.
What did you see? What did you hear? What was it like in that moment?
First thing was fuel.
I'm going to be sick.
You're right.
You take your time.
Just deep breath. You're right.
Tam is clearly still struggling with the terror she experienced trapped under the Sea Dragon 2. Disoriented, with the smell of fuel thick in the water, she knew they didn't have long.
I just remember coming up, and Gabe and I had ended up quite far away from each other, and first thing I remember is him screaming my name in a real panic that I had never heard from him before.
That panic Tam described in your voice, did you think you'd lost her?
Obviously, there is a thought of that happening at the time.
He really did snap into let's get out. He just kept saying, we have to swim out or we're going to run out of air. And yeah, I just thought, okay. And then I think he
We just went
counted and
1, 2, 3, go.
And then we just swam out and
Yep.
You were in survival mode.
Yep.
While Tam and Gabe faced the storm together, the Abel family was separated when the boat flipped, and little Alexandra was nowhere to be seen.
And at one point, everything went completely dark. I didn't see anything. I didn't see my daughter, nothing. I was in the ocean next to the boat, and I understood that my child is gone. And when I understood that she's dead, I was very calm. I was very calm, and I was just thinking okay, she's dead. I was seeing my husband. He was so badly injured that I thought that, okay, he's going to be also dead very soon. And then I was just thinking I hope I can die as soon as possible. I was just waiting for my death, and I was hoping that it comes really quickly because it was impossible to bear. I was just waiting for my death. Maybe
Andreas was thrown a long way from the boat. Battered and bruised, he too was convinced he was dying.
He is here. He is here. Your husband is here. Your husband is here.
Just as they found each other in the ocean, one of the boat's crew yelled out to Lisa and Andreas that their daughter was alive too, trapped under the hull. For nearly half an hour, Lisa tried and failed to swim under to reach her. How did she get out?
It's impossible to tell because my daughter, who just got 7 years old, had her life jacket on, and with the waves and with the currents, she was able to swim out, and we don't know how it's possible. And the crew members who were trapped with her underneath the boat told us that she was extremely brave. She didn't cry for once. There was a very small air window, and she started to go up, take the air, and try to swim under. And she did this several and several times.
When Alexandra finally popped out from underneath the Sea Dragon 2, Lisa was ecstatic. But her daughter's first words will always haunt her.
So I started to swim towards her. And you know what is the first thing she asked me? "Mommy, why do you look like this?" And I was like, "Why do you ask that?" And you know what she replied to me? She told me that just a few seconds ago, you were so pretty. You had this very beautiful dress on, and I saw Daddy. Daddy had this very nice hat, and we had this lovely music, and we had this boat, and you were waving for me. Like, what happened? How did I get here? And I think you do understand what that means. She was on the other side already.
But their relief was short-lived. Alexandra was turning blue, struggling to breathe. The safest reprieve from the huge swell was on top of the overturned Sea Dragon 2. Several passengers climbed up, while others clung to the hull, waiting, hoping for help. As the stranded passengers waited here to be rescued, a tragic realisation hit them. Someone was missing, Australian Anna Blight. She was killed when the boat flipped.
She was right next to me, and then she was gone. It was, I still don't understand what happened, and I wish we had more information, especially like for our family. It's horrible.
It's still unclear exactly what happened to Anna. Even her cousin, who was with her on the snorkelling trip, didn't know she had died until hours later. Dutch tourist Ava Youngblood was on board with her niece when they were thrown from the boat. Ava had her mobile phone in a waterproof pouch and kept filming even after the boat capsized. It was then that she found herself waiting to be rescued with Anna's cousin.
She told us, like, I don't know where she is, and I hope she's still on the water. And we just also tried to calm her down and say, yeah, well, probably she's still on the water with a cushion somewhere. They will find her. But we never, at that moment, we didn't think of her being dead.
The 39-year-old's body was recovered and flown home to Australia. Her family declined an autopsy. 7-year-old Alexandra is still consumed by what happened to the lady who didn't make it.
What has she said to you about being under that boat with Anna?
That she should have saved her. When she was in intensive care, Anna was all she was talking about, because she has been taking swimming lessons since she was a baby, and they are always like, they are also being taught like how to take care of others. And for her, she just wanted to do something for Anna.
What an extraordinary daughter you have.
We do. We're really proud.
She was so brave. She is amazing. That little girl, she was more brave than I was. Like, I was crying and freaking out, and she was just so tough.
But as you'll see, their ordeal was about to get even more terrifying. Coming up, the near-fatal rescue mission, as time was running out.
Someone has died, and it could happen to us too.
Everyday life, even a trip to the local playground, has never been so precious for the Abel family. It's been 4 months since Lisa, Andreas and 7-year-old Alexandra survived a horrendous boating accident on holiday in Bali. The Estonians were among 11 passengers on a snorkelling tour aboard the Sea Dragon 2 when it capsized, killing Melbourne woman Anna Blight. The rest, incredibly, managed to swim out from underneath the tipped boat in the middle of a huge storm.
He's here, your husband is here. Your husband is here.
But as they waited more than an hour to be rescued, little Alexandra's condition deteriorated fast.
My daughter started to vomit blood, and she said, like, it's really painful. My chest is really, really painful.
As the adrenaline wore off, Queensland couple Gabe Hishniakov and Tam Warrington realised they were badly burned.
It was when we pulled ourselves up onto the top of the boat that I realised why I was reacting more harshly than everyone else, because I saw the skin kind of from here down just slopping off is the only way I have to describe that. And the burning was intense.
Yes, the rescue is coming. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Relief doesn't come close to describing how the survivors felt when they were picked up by a passing tourist boat. They were dropped here on the island of Nusa Penida. Their rescue, though, was far from over. This part of the island is known for this enormous cliff, and the only way to the top is a challenging 400-metre hike. Unbelievably, they were dropped in the ocean and forced to swim to the beach, where they realised their predicament. Injured and exhausted, there was no way they could manage the steep trek. The only option was this perilous-looking crane. They climbed in and clung on for dear life.
I mean, it was scary as hell, as you can imagine. It was basically a basket, a metal basket. So it was extremely scary.
When they finally reached the top, there was yet another crushing setback.
I thought an ambulance was waiting, that's what they told us. There wasn't anyone there for probably an hour.
Hour and a half, yeah.
It would be several more hours before the group was transported by ferry to the mainland, where they were finally treated at Denpasar Hospital. By then, Tam's burns were excruciating.
At first they were saying 3rd-degree burns to some crazy percentage, which was terrifying. Luckily, when we got back to Australia, they said, no, it's 2nd degree, like, you'll be okay. But I did need a surgery to, like, they called it a debridement, I guess, to take off the skin that had slopped away and clean. I mean, I was dirty for 24 hours. Then they took me into surgery and cleaned up my legs.
24 hours after the incident. So infection was our biggest worry, yeah.
Meanwhile, 7-year-old Alexandra went straight to intensive care. She had pneumonia and, like Tam, chemical burns from spilled fuel or battery acid.
And the Bali hospital, the biggest one they have, they didn't have a burn unit. They didn't understand that this is a chemical burn. And we had also swallowed so much gasoline. Even 3 days after the accident, I was still feeling the chemicals in my throat.
Within days, the survivors were told they could fly home. But they've all struggled to put the ordeal behind them. Outraged by the death of Anna Blight, their botched rescue and appalling medical treatment, they want to know what went wrong and if the tragedy could have been prevented. To find out, we tracked down Sea Dragon 2 headquarters in the back streets of Denpasar. It's also home to a dog shelter.
Do you work in the company?
After some initial hesitation, one of the company's managers, Kadek Adyana, invited us in.
Are you able to tell me what happened with the Sea Dragon 2?
The weather was bad, it was raining, we hit a log. So the speed slowed down and then a big wave hit the boat and then it capsized.
Okay, because the passengers have described to us that that's not what happened. They didn't hit anything and that the driver was driving very dangerously.
It was a small log, so you can't really see it or feel it, but it's there. They found it after they investigated. Speed was not a factor.
Have police verified this? Have they taken part in the police investigation?
Apakah ini sudah bagian dari penyelidikan polisi?
Sudah sempat.
Yes.
So what about the other operators who didn't go out that day? Because they say the conditions were forecast to be too dangerous.
Kalau agennya nuntut.
As the boat owner, it is not up to us to cancel a trip or not. It's up to the agent. It's up to the tour company because they're the only one actually selling the package.
Ya, di cancel. Kalau kita cancel salah, Mbak.
That tour company is Indo-Compass. We approached their crew returning from a snorkelling trip on the Sea Dragon 2, which has been renamed Alicia.
Were you a tour operator on Sea Dragon 2?
No.
The one that capsized?
No.
No?
Yeah.
Well, and this is the crew?
No. I don't know.
No?
Yeah.
It's the same boat though, yeah?
I don't know.
After staff denied any knowledge of the capsize, the Indo-Compass boss agreed to answer our questions. Ahmad Lufiade Matondang, known as Luffy, is clearly still shaken by the tragedy.
Since that happened, I can't sleep. I think about the people, the people on their boat.
Whose decision was it to take the Sea Dragon 2 out that day?
So here's the thing: when we leave the boat, we need to give all the names, the passengers, also the tour guide, the captain name to the Coast Guard, and then Coast Guard will give the permission if we go or not.
The Sea Dragon management says it was your decision to go to sea that day.
That's not true, because when it's bad weather, we cannot go. We cannot go. I can't push people to go.
So who is to blame? Is it the captain, the boat company?
Nobody can blame. It's to, it happens. Who we can blame? And nobody want accident. Nobody want accident.
Is that captain still working on your tours?
No, the captain not working. I told him, the owner, that I don't wanna. Please do not give it to me, this guy anymore, because I will not want to work with him. And I tell all my tour guide, if you see this with us, please, we don't go with him. And please just cancel it.
While everyone involved seems genuinely remorseful, there's a lot of buck passing and denials. Despite what Luffy says, the boat company stands by its captain.
That was not the captain's fault.
So is the captain still with the company? Is he still operating the boat?
Masih kerja di Sea Dragon? Yeah.
Masih, jadi sekarang dia trip lagi.
Yes.
Sea Dragon 2.
One thing is clear. No one wants to take responsibility for the deadly boat trip. Every day, tourists put their lives in the hands of these companies, heading out to sea in the Sea Dragon 2. It's been repaired and renamed Alicia to avoid negative publicity. A decision Sea Dragon management tells us was made by the tour operator, Luffy from Indo-Compass.
And why did you decide to change the boat's name?
It's not me. Have the decision to change the boat name. It's the owner of the boat.
He says it's the tour company.
It's crazy.
Okay.
Coming up, what police say really happened.
It's not really good enough, is it? An Australian woman has died. Can you give an assurance that these waters are safe?
Good morning, Mrs. Okay, welcome to
Hi, sir.
Nusa Penida.
Thank you for meeting with me.
At Nusa Penida Police Headquarters, the chief is more than happy to address the tragedy that's cast a shadow over this island.
Pagi.
The death of Australian woman Anna Blight in a boat capsized back in March. 4 months on from the disaster, Ida Bagus Putra Sumerta has just closed the case. But his conclusions are not what any of the tourists would have been expecting.
What is the outcome of your investigation?
Hasil kami melaksanakan penyelidikan.
The conclusion of the police investigation is natural causes, so there's no negligence. One of the engines hit a log in the water, causing the engines to stop. And right about the same time, a big wave hit the boat and flipped the boat.
Terjadinya kecelakaan boat.
Do you have evidence of that log?
Ada buktinya.
Yes, our investigators found wood splinters stuck in the engine.
Dari anggota kami.
These photos of wood splinters in the right engine is proof, he says, that there was no human error.
A lot of other operators turned around that day because the weather was so bad. Couldn't this have been avoided if the captain had have checked the weather?
Dari hasil keterangan yang
Our investigation found that when they left, the weather was calm, then suddenly they were in extreme weather. This area is known for sudden big swell. You can't predict it.
Whose responsibility is it to decide whether the boat can go out that date?
itu di luar kewenangan kami.
It is not within police authority to determine who is in charge of who is going out on the boat. We are in charge of what happens on land, not at sea.
So you have taken the captain's word for what happened that day?
We can't really say because we were not there. Weather is dynamic, it changes. So we have to rely on the testimony of the captain.
It's incredibly frustrating and somewhat unbelievable that even the police chief in charge of the investigation doesn't have any solid answers. And since Anna Blight's death, there's been plenty more drama in Indonesian waters. In June, this tourist boat sank off Bali's southeast coast. 89 passengers scrambling to escape. Many had to be pulled from the water. And just 10 days ago, 8 people died when a ferry sank off East Java. Dozens are still missing. When it comes to the Sea Dragon 2 capsize, local authorities are reluctant to impose penalties or deterrents.
So your decision is this was a freak accident and no one will be held accountable?
Iya, betul.
Yes, our investigation concluded that this was caused by nature. It's not something any human can prevent, so no one will be held liable.
With all due respect, it's not really good enough, is it? I mean, an Australian woman has died and there were clear signs, we've been told, of some negligence, certainly by the boat captain. Can you give an assurance that these waters are safe for Australian and international tourists?
Yeah. Terima kasih.
We promise we will work very closely with tour operators and all parties to provide briefings, and we ask tourists themselves to participate in providing safety for everybody. We hope tourists will pay attention to local regulations.
There was no safety briefing on this boat. There were no life jackets handed out. Is that something you would consider enforcing on tour boats?
According to our investigation, there was a safety briefing and life jackets were going to be used once they reached the snorkelling location.
It's little comfort for survivors who've been waiting a long time for answers. All the way across the world in the Netherlands, Ava Youngblood still has nightmares about the capsize.
Anna has died, and I think for her family, it doesn't feel right if this just can happen and no one is held accountable for this. That doesn't feel right.
What have you been told about the police investigation?
Nothing.
Nothing.
We had to get a police report when we were back in Australia for insurance purposes to, claim everything that we lost on the boat. So we emailed our contact at the embassy from when we tried to get the emergency passports, and they just said, oh, sorry, there's no police report.
Going to the food markets?
Back in Brisbane, Gabe Hizhniakov and Tam Warrington are trying to enjoy life after a tough few months of recovery. Tam suffered substantial burns, which doctors here told her were from engine fuel or battery acid. On top of the physical recovery,
The lack of action from Indonesian authorities has compounded their anguish.
Would you like to see someone held accountable?
It's really hard because they were really nice people and we don't want to put the blame on anyone. But we think there should be
A better structure.
something, and maybe something needs to change. Yeah, it was terrifying, you know. And I really did think we were gonna die. And when we came up on the other side of that boat, I was so grateful we both survived, because if I'd have lost him, like, yeah, I don't think I would have had it in me to swim out if he wasn't there. So I definitely have him to thank for that. My mum calls him her hero. He is a hero.
In Northern Europe, the Abel family are also doing their best to move on, but it's been tough.
As a father, as a husband, my main guilt is I couldn't do anything in that situation to help my families.
From Estonia to Brisbane and the Netherlands, these survivors are forever bonded by an experience that almost killed them. For Ava Youngblood, the friendship born out of the disaster has provided much-needed support.
It was very nice to keep contact with them because they were the only persons who also survived. So it was very comforting to talk with them.
We are the only ones who can actually like understand each other. So it has been so helpful. We have been sharing the pictures, sharing the ideas, sharing the fears we have, and so on. So it's a very lovely circle.
The main focus for Lisa and Andreas now is their little girl, Alexandra. They're helping the 7-year-old through the trauma and plan to take her back to Bali when she's old enough to understand what happened.
The accident has had tremendous, awful effects on our family. It's difficult to sleep, it's difficult to work, it's difficult to live a normal life. And it's the same for her also. Like to carry on her daily activities, it has been really tricky.
Would you like to see someone held accountable? I mean, what would you like to see happen?
Actually, I'm not looking for any revenge. I would be just so happy if there is a lesson, then please hand out the safety equipment.
Hello, I'm Amelia Adams. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minute segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.